Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. Today will be a special video as we jump into the time machine and travel back a whole 28 years to the year 1997. As we look at this, from McFarlane Toys, we are featuring the Goddess as a part of the Manga Spawn Ultra Action Figure line. Alright, so during the mid and late 90s, anime and manga were taking the US by storm. Even though they've been around forever, it was kind of at the beginning of its mainstream popularity, especially with anime being seen on cable television and manga being readily available in like bookstores. McFarlane Toys tried to capitalize off of that by taking characters from the Spawn universe and kind of giving them a much needed anime and manga flair. What we have here is the Goddess. The Goddess belongs to kind of like the celestial beings in the Spawn universe. She's very much like characters like Angela and Tiffany. But in this re-envisioning of her, she kind of takes on a much more almost like anime pixie sort of appearance. Some really cool ornate armor on her. And it's just a fantastic looking figure. Other figures from the Manga Spawn line, we have Manga Spawn, Violator, Clown, the Goddess, and the Curse. And we also have Ninja Spawn right here. In 1997, there was also Spawn Series 8. This was the main line. 97 was a big deal for Spawn also with the release of the live-action movie. And then there was a line of toys to accompany that. And then there was also Total Chaos Series 2, a wonderful set of action figures. Here is the file card for the Goddess with a brief bio on her. And then here are some of the instructions. It looks like her spear has a projectile. Her wings plug into her back. She has a removable helmet. And then she also has a detachable blade from her larger staff. Alright, so this is a blast from the past. We have a small McFarlane poster / catalog. On one side, it highlights a lot of the different Spawn action figures. Like we have Series 8 and 9 over here. The pretty cool playset focused Monsters line. Figures from the live action film. And 1997 was a banner year for Spawn with the release of the PlayStation game, the movie, the soundtrack. So yeah, 97 was a huge deal for McFarlane Toys. And let's take a look at the Goddess. Alright, so a bunch of accessories going on. We have bits of her staff, and it looks like some of the paint is actually flaking off. Here's her helmet. Alright, so we have the Goddess figure right here. Really nice looking action figure. She stands in at about 8.5 or 7.5 inches. Really clean head sculpt. The facial expression could use some work. She looks a little bit nervous. I do like the shade of gold for the armor. And it's contrasted against this kind of like light purple, which is kind of reminiscent of the superhero The Phantom. And you'll notice she has synthetic hair. This was a feature that was very common in a lot of Spawn action figures in the 90s. It's a cool detail, but for me, it was always kind of just messy, kind of flails around everywhere. It's hard to clean if it gets dusty. I would have preferred just like a plastic mold or a sculpt, but it is what it is. And then she has these wings. A pair of wings. They're kind of like fairy wings. Kind of like a translucent pink that you can see through. And those plug into her back. Right up here, you'll see those little spots. And then you just plug them in. I'm going to make sure I do this right. I think this is correct. Just give me a moment. Let me grab the instructions. It says when inserting wings into back holes, one wing has a larger post for the larger hole in the back. So I don't know which one. They look identical. So or let's see if I can plug them in. Unless that's the, I was about to say unless that's the wrong hole, but that doesn't sound right. Yeah, so these are supposed to plug in, but they don't. I don't know if they're gonna plug in or not. Just wait. That might be the wrong one. Okay, yeah, I see what they're talking about. One key is actually smaller than the other, so they're each one's made for a specific side. And like I said, the synthetic hair, it's cool, but in practice, it's just messy. It's kind of like shedding also, which is annoying. Right, just give me a second. I just want to get this cleaned up a little. All right. There we go. Cool. All right, so we have the goddess. And then, of course, she has her little helmet as well. And my OCD is going nuts because the wings, they're not level with each other. I'm trying to correct that. And that might not be possible. Just wait. Why does this want to... These wings are more trouble than they're worth. Yeah, I guess that's the best I could do. But yeah, this is bothering me how they're kind of uneven. And then the helmet goes on. It's kind of like a cycling helmet, how it's kind of like elongated toward the back to make it more aerodynamic. And she does look really cool with the helmet on. I'll give it that. So that's pretty cool. Now the articulation, it's very basic. Her head swivels left and right. And it made a cracking noise, which I am terrified of now. Hope it didn't break anything. Or I guess not. It's fine. Her arms articulated. They just go up, and then they bend at the elbow. And then her legs articulated at the hips. I've said this before. The leg articulation in the 90s, it seems like it was an afterthought. The legs would never kick straight up. They'd always kick out to the side. It's like they couldn't figure out how to properly articulate them back then. And the knees bend. Her staff... So the spearhead is actually a projectile that you plug in. And then there's a button here. And it actually fires out like that. And then underneath, there's a socket here for this other blade element, which is removable. I do like the cloth ribbon that kind of spirals down the spear. It looks really cool. It's kind of cool that they did that. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked on this figure. It's pretty awesome. I'm not sure if it feels as manga or anime as some of the other figures in the line. You know, it feels a little bit more, I don't know, like clean cyberpunk. which I guess Cyberpunk is kind of anime-like. And I also do have another Manga Spawn figure. Okay, this fell apart. This is actually Manga Spawn from the same line. This is the mainline character. And you see, they kind of complement each other pretty well. And then for a size comparison, here it is next to a standard Marvel Legends figure. And you can see the height difference. And let's take the helmet off. So, yeah, the figures are within the 6-inch scale. So they're pretty decent if you want to display them alongside some of the modern action figures. They're much smaller, though, than the modern McFarlane figures, which are generally about a 7 to 8-inch scale action figure. Like Malefic's Spawn here from McFarlane's Mortal Kombat line. But yeah, I'm all on board with these older figures. You know, for whatever reason, even though I was collecting McFarlane toys during the 90s, I just kind of overlooked this line. It's just recently that I got them. One of my local collectible toy stores had these on sale, so I couldn't resist pulling the trigger on them. And I don't know, this looks really, really cool. I like this one a lot. I'm kind of wondering if the wrists are articulated. They might feel a bit gummy, though. They don't want to turn. Because I'd like for her to be able to hold the staff properly, but I don't know. Just is what it is. All right, so let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.